Welcome everybody to this video. My name is Ali. Today I'm gonna talk about Bitcoin, everything, all you need to know about Bitcoin. So in this video, I've decided to summarize all the information that I got and that I learned over the past 2 years and to put it in one video. So this is basically gonna be a workshop. It's gonna be a long video, so make sure to grab some food and drink and always pay attention to every slide and information that I give you. The reason why I make this video is because a lot of people have been asking me to how to enter the crypto market, what do I need to know, and so on. Most people are lazy, they don't want to study a lot, so I decided to make one video to summarize all the core information, the important information, so that you will be able to understand the crypto space and why the market just keep rising and rising and increasing in price over and over a year. So let's just sit back and enjoy this video. We're just gonna do it slide by slide. So let's continue. So the table of contents, I've decided to divide this presentation into 5 parts. The first part we're gonna talk about Bitcoin. The second part we're gonna talk about fiat, which is called the current money that we use in our daily lives, so such as euro, the dollar, rupees, and so on. You can call them. Part three is going to be about the psychology that is connected with investing and also in the crypto space, stock market, whatever. Part four is going to be about investing. We're going to focus on the fundamentals and technicals. And part five is going to be about ethics in the financial world, because that is very important. If you don't have any ethics, you're just going to basically lose yourself in this life. So keep that in mind. So Bitcoin. Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto, and he decided to launch the network back in 2019. He got actually inspired by the Liberty Dollar, which was created by Bernard von Nothaus. And Bernard von Nothaus, the Liberty Dollar was basically another form of paper currency. I'm gonna save you all the details about the history part. I have already talked about the history part about the Liberty Dollar in my course, so you can watch that in the first part. So we're just gonna hop into Bitcoin right away. So Satoshi Nakamoto, he is an unknown person who created the Bitcoin network, and he decided to make and create a payment system that is not centralized and controlled by a bank or any other institution or by a third party. So basically, Bitcoin is a people's money, a form of currency that can be sent all over the world. Let's say I want to transfer my money to somebody that lives in Japan. I can just do it with the Bitcoin network, and it's very fast, and the transaction fees are very, very low. So we have seen several transactions in the past that contains billions and billions of Bitcoins with the value of billions in the US dollar that has been sent within minutes, and the transaction fee was something around $2 or something. So you can safely send money from one part to the other part of the world without any other institution or third party. So basically, Bitcoin is a people's money, a way to escape the banking system that we live in. You can basically become your own bank. So that is it. So I've created this. I've added this image in this presentation as well, which is the centralized system that is controlled by another institution, a company, or whatever. They have a lot of power. So if that network is going to be sabotaged, then that means that the whole system is going to be down for a while. That happened in the past 2 weeks, if I'm not wrong, with Facebook. WhatsApp didn't work, Instagram was down, and also Facebook was down. But the only thing that was up was Twitter and also the Bitcoin network. The Bitcoin network has a better uptime than Google and then all the big banking system in the world. So that's why I like decentralized system. Decentralized system is basically a network that has been operated by voluntary people that keeps the network alive. So if I want to also mine Bitcoin, I just have to turn on my PC, download some files, and all the transaction that has been done in the past, the current transactions that are gonna be done, and so on. So that's what you all have to do. It's basically a peer-to-peer network, which means which basically turns into people's to people network. So if I turn my PC on, the network keeps going, and all the other people, millions and millions of people in the world, they keep the network alive. So that's why I like this system a lot. So let's go back to the details. The reason why I started to invest in Bitcoin was I was thinking about myself like I graduated from high school from I got from high school my bachelor I got my bachelor degree of business economics, and I started to work for example for approximately 5 years now as a financial controller. So I started to question myself: am I gonna do this my whole life till I retire? I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I cannot do this. Well, isn't there another way to earn money faster so I can retire before the age of 67 years old? So then I started to think about the lecture that came to my university called the Age University in The Hague in the Netherlands. He talked about Bitcoin, and he called himself the Bitcoin evangelist. That's how he called himself. So he was a strong believer in Bitcoin. It was back in 2016, and then later on, when I checked the market, I saw that Bitcoin went up to 20K in dollars. So I was like, how is this asset increasing so much in its price? So I started to question myself and started to do my research, and then eventually convinced myself to start investing in cryptocurrency since 2019 in Q4, the last quarter of 2019, and ever since I've been invested in it, making a lot of profits, making a lot of money. And I decided to teach other people about this as well. I learned this all by myself by watching a lot of documentaries, YouTube videos, and following a lot of courses on the internet and trading money. I lost a lot of money, but I also gained a lot of money. I reached the books called Rich Dad Poor Dad and also the Bitcoin Standard. Those two books basically managed to change my whole perspective about the economy that we live in. So I started to question. I started to ask questions about the current monetary system that I live in. I was like, why can't we do it better, faster, and more efficient in a environmental friendly way? So this is how how I introduced myself into cryptocurrency and did everything by myself. So I also knew that on the 22nd of May 2010, there was a person called Laszlo Hanyes. I hope I pronounced his name on the right. He bought two pizzas for 10,000 bitcoins, which had a value of $41 back in the days. So I started to question myself: how can an asset increase so much in price that you back in the days you needed 10,000 of it just to buy two pizzas, and now one Bitcoin is now worth approximately, let me see, it's now worth around 63K. I was like, how does one asset increase in price over such a short period of time? So that's how I started to question myself, and I was like, oh, okay, it's the network, the blockchain technology behind it. So this is called the decentralized payment system, a peer-to-peer network that is on the blockchain technology. So every transaction that is on the blockchain is transparent. You can see all the transactions that has ever been sent on the Bitcoin network, and it is completely transparent, and you don't need to pay high fees. It is very secure. You can't basically hack the system, because if you want to send your money to another wallet, the whole system needs to be anonymous. How do you say that? Not anonymous. In Dutch, we call it consensus. Consensus. That was the word I was looking for. So all the miners needs to have the same transaction values in order to proceed this transaction. So if there's like 10 million miners that has started to join the Bitcoin network, and let's say from the 10 million miners, there's only one person who has a different result, that transaction will not be accepted. So that's how secure the network is. This is created by the formula, and the creator behind the Bitcoin network is Satoshi Nakamoto. Nobody knows who he is, if he's one individual or a group of people. It doesn't matter who he is, because the formula itself, it works. So it's the same thing like the how do you say, Euclid or Archimedes. Those formulas are created by people that we know, but let's say if those people were not people who acted right, they were wrongdoings. They were, let's say, they were big criminals. Does that has any value to the formula that they created? It doesn't, in my opinion, because the formula always showed the right results, and that's what matters. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. The formula works, everything works, so it doesn't matter who this person is, if he's a good person or a bad person. It's just a mathematical formula that we use in our daily lives. Simple as that. So. And also, it was stated in the Bitcoin standard book, Bitcoin was designed primarily to avoid centralized control. So it is basically you are your own bank, and you can send transaction from one point to another. So this basically about Bitcoin in a nutshell. But we also got to keep in mind that the Bitcoin network is gonna be kept alive because of the miners. The miners are the ones who run the computers and process all the transaction that is being created and is ever gonna be created in the future. So that's what I like about this. And the miners will get rewarded with bitcoins over the past with every block that they mine. That's the right thing. Yeah. So we're gonna just continue. Bitcoin. If you look at the Bitcoin Fourier cycle theory, Satoshi Nakamoto created this way. If a miner mines one block, he will get rewarded. So back in 2009, if you mined one block, you will get rewarded with 50 bitcoins. And every 4 years, after every 210,000 blocks, the reward will get halved, which means this is what they call the halving effect, which means that the rewards will get halved. So from 50 bitcoins, you will only get 25 bitcoins, and after 4 years, you will get less, which is 12 and a half, and in 2020, you will only get 6.25 bitcoins per block that you are going to mine. So this means that the supply and demand, the supply in Bitcoin will get less and less and less over the period of time. And let's say the demand increases, as we see nowadays. Today is the 22nd of October 2021. We see that the demand is increasing immensely, and that has to do because of the pandemic and the current monetary system that we live in. I'm going to explain it later on. But you see that the price is increasing over the past years. And because of the halving effect, we can see that this cycle, the Bitcoin cycle, works in 4 years. So every 4 years, when the Bitcoin reward get halved, we see that 2 years of this 4 year will result in a bull market and 2 year in a bear market. Bull market means that the price is increasing, and bear market means that the price is decreasing. I'm going to show that in the charts as well. So the first rewards that you got from Bitcoin, it was the 3rd of January 2009, you would have got 50 Bitcoins per block, and the 28th of November 2012 you will only get 25, and then on the 9th of July 2016 you will only got 12 and a half Bitcoins per block that you mined, and on the 11th of May 2020 you will only get 6.25. So you can see that Bitcoin is a form of currency, a currency that we used back in the days when we used to trade with salt, with flesh, with leather, with eggs, with chickens, and so on, with natural sources instead of money that can be printed unlimited. This is what they call quantitative easing. But I'm going to explain it later on. So let's say we'll see that the rewards per bitcoins will get less and less and less. So the supply will become less in the future, which means that the price will increase. And we can see that with real-time data. So Bitcoin was created back in 2009, and this chart only shows data from 2011. And I'm going to show you the chart of Bitcoin since the beginning. So if you go to tradingview.com, you can open this chart, which is called Bitcoin, and this chart shows data from, let's see, it's from the 19th of July 2010. So every 4 year there will be a halving effect. I have created a yellow line. You can look at these lines. These lines represent the halving effect. And every time you see that the Bitcoin's reward get halved, you can see that the price is increasing. Look, back in the days, Bitcoin was trading around $0. Okay, over here. You can see it was $0. And then it increased to, from $0, it increased to, let's see, with 9,000% to $31. Then we had a correction. And then the first halving came into place, which is, let's see, um, which is this one. I'm gonna close some PowerPoint slides. Yeah, okay, this one, which was on the 28th of November 2012. So I've put a line, I draw the line around that date, so you can see that after each halving, we see that the price is increasing immensely. Look, the price increased with how many percentage? It increased with 2,000%. So it was trading around $11, and then it pumped all the way to 268, and then we had a correction, but that was not the end of the bull market. It immediately started to increase to 11,000. So this is what you see in the charts. So after each halving, the market has a certain structure. The first structure is called the bull market. The second structure is called the bear market, where the market is going to correct. So people are going to take their profits. They're just going to sell all their bitcoins. Then people are going to reaccumulate. Then we have an expansion cycle, then a reaccumulation, and then we go into the next halving. And the next halving takes place: a bull market, bear market, accumulation, expansion, reaccumulation. These are the same structure. So if you look at these charts and if you look at these structures, you can see that it is a good idea, it's a good strategy to buy at the halving effect or even before the halving effect. And then you just have to hodl all the way to the top of the bull market. Let's say it's around 2 years, and then you have to sell it at the top, and then wait till the correction, till the market has corrected, and then you buy it again. That's the simple strategy that you have to do. You just simply buy when the price is low, and you sell when the price is high. And the way to time these bottoms and tops is to look at the history of this market. The history shows what the behavior of the trader is in this market. So you can decide for yourself when it's the best way to invest and when not. So looking at this chart, you can see that the FourYear cycle theory, look, from the beginning of the halving till the cycle top, this cycle contains out of 365 days, let's say a year. It's approximately a year. That was back in 2013, and in this year there was not a lot of people that knew a lot about Bitcoin. So after 4 years, people started to notice about Bitcoin. The price was increasing a lot, and then we had the second halving. Yeah, then we had the second halving, and the second halving lasted till, let's see, how many days? 512 days, which is approximately 1.5 years. So this means that the cycles are lengthening, which means that after each halving, it doesn't necessarily mean that the bull market lasts for a year. It can last for 1 year, for 1.5 years, and perhaps now in the future, the current cycle that we are in, the current cycle is definitely not over yet. I believe that this cycle is far from over. So there was the last halving, the previous halving that we had, and we have to, let's see, we have to measure the same amount of days, or maybe a little bit more. Let's say the having the bull market lasts for 2 years. That means that we still have till December. The time till December to reach the all-time high, and then I'm gonna look to sell my crypto coins. I'm gonna sell it around these targets, these psychological targets, which is 100k. I'm gonna sell around 125k, 150k, 200k, and my personal target is something around 280k. I'm gonna explain how I came with these targets. So this bull market's far from over. So what I want you to understand is that a good way to become wealthy in this century is to buy crypto coins. And the way you buy these coins to time the market is you have to wait till the halving effect. So let's say you miss the halving effect. That means that you just have to wait till the next halving. You just have to wait till the cycle tops, and then when the market corrects, you're just gonna buy till the next halving. The next halving is somewhere around 2024. So that's the timing when I'm looking forward to step into the market again, when I sold my positions in December. So anyway, we're just going to continue. So now we basically understand how the cycle works. We're just going to look at what fiat does with our money. Fiat is the money that we use nowadays, such as dollars, euros, and so on. So with this system, we have something which is called inflation. Inflation means that, let's say you have $100. you put it in your bank account for 1 year. So it's now 2021, and the next year, 2022, I still have $100 on my bank account. But the true value of the $100 is not $100, but it's actually $98. This means that the value of my savings will get less and less and less over the years. Every year, we lose our purchasing power with 2%. This is called inflations. And what has this done with the current dollar, with the dollar back in the days? So the dollar back in 1913, it was worth $1. But nowadays in 2011, this same dollar, if you have put it in the bank account, now you can only this dollar has now a value of approximately 5 cents. So this means that it is not a good idea to keep your money on the bank account. It is a good idea to find something that will increase in value over time, at least 2% each year. Then you are break even. But if you manage to increase your money within a year with more than 2%, this is the way you make profits. And if you invest your profits into more investing over the next year, this is what you get. You will get the compounding effect, which means profit built on profit, built on profit, built on profit. This is what they call the compounding effect. And this is why Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't, he pays it. So people who save their money on the bank accounts just to keep it on their bank, they will pay the inflation. But people who invest their money, they will get revenue. They will get profits. So nowadays, the standards that we are being raised with by society is you have to go to school, get a job, get a house, marry a beautiful woman or lady, whatever, get children, get a big car. That's the ultimate goal of being happy. And then you can retire at the age of 67, then you can enjoy life. When I thought about this, when I thought about a system, I was questioning myself, why do we only retire at the age of 67 here in the Netherlands? Why can't I retire before that age? Isn't there another way to get more money and to enjoy life before I reach the age of 67? So we are just delaying and delaying and delaying our happiness. What are we thinking? Why aren't we questioning our social standards nowadays? Why are we living by these standards? That's something we have to ask ourselves. We can definitely retire by the age of 30. I'm 28 years old right now. And I can tell myself that I can retire before the age of 35 or before the age of 40, and my goal is to retire before the age of 30. So I have 2 years now. Can I do that? I'm gonna see. It's a challenge. If I don't manage, I'm just gonna say till the age of 32 for myself. This is the way I set my own standards. I don't let society put their standards on me. I'm gonna live by my own standards. And I'm going to decide for myself when I retire and when not to. And this is the reason why I look for opportunities in the market to invest, to start my own company, and so on. And this is the reason why I founded cryptocurrency. I found the true value of money. Cryptocurrency actually helped me to ask questions about the social standards that we live in, especially the financial system that we live in. I was looking from a bird eye's view on the whole system. I was like, we are actually being trapped with our houses, with our mortgages, with our loans. If we have to study here in the Netherlands, you will get a loan from the government, but you have to pay it back. What is this? So we start our career with a big debt. And this is the great thing, the thing that I'm asking myself. Why can't we, as a human being, get money to start our own company, but we can get money from the government to pay our student, to pay our how do you say that? The collegegeld, to pay money for college. We have to pay it, and we start our career with a debt, and we work our asses off just to pay off the debt, and then we can just live. This is not the way we work. This is the way they keep us captive in their system, in their standards, and this is the way the big companies, the big banking system will get richer and richer, and the poorer get poorer, because they don't escape themselves from this system that we live in. And that's the danger about not educating yourself enough after you graduated. So after I graduated from the DH University, when I got my bachelor's degree, there was just the beginning. That was just the basis. And now my real study about life starts by gaining experience, reading books, watching a lot of videos on YouTube, watching a lot of documentaries, and so on. So I'm never gonna stop learning. I'm never gonna stop learning. I'm always gonna keep working for myself and educate myself, and not just gonna wake up, go to the office, work from 9 to 5, and then go to the gym and then sleep and repeat. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna work from 9 to 5. I'm gonna pay my fixed costs, my rent, water, electricity, and so on. But I'm gonna educate myself after that as well, just to get more money and to put my own to beat the system that I live in. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So now we have. So now we know that inflation is literally eating all our money, the purchasing power. We lose our purchasing power every year. So how do we counter it? So nowadays we have the pandemic. The pandemic. If you look at the pandemic back in 2019, the pandemic caused a lot of fear and a lot of damage to the economy on a world global scale, and people don't realize that. If you look at this website, I'm going to show you the website. This is called the website. You can see the amount of money that the government had printed just to stimulate the world economy to keep it healthy. Back in 2008, we had the housing crisis when the property market started to collapse, the Lehman Brothers and so on. From what I remember, you can see a big spike in this period. That was because of the crisis. The government had to print like so much money in this period that to keep the economy alive. And if you look at how much money is printed in the past 2 years, I was just shocked by looking at this chart. They just keep printing and printing and printing and more money. This is what they call the PPP paycheck, Payment Protection Program. This is basically called a Corona stimulus package to give money to the corporations, to the big institutions, to the citizens as well, because companies couldn't produce more products to sell and to cover their fixed costs such as rent, electricity, salary costs, and so on. A lot of companies had to fire a lot of their employers. So that's really dangerous. This is a really dangerous period that we live in, and we don't realize that all the money that the government is giving us, we have to eventually pay it back. And just look at the amount of money that they have printed over the past period. Look, since 2020. In 2019, you can see an enormous spike. So you need to ask yourself this question: what happened in this period? In this period, we saw nothing more than, which is called the pandemic, the coronavirus. That's what struck the economy on a global scale, and this is the reason when I knew that the economy was getting a lot of damage. This was the reason that I started to look for stocks, to gold, silver, and so on. I was looking for products that are being traded, but that are limited, and this is the way I found Bitcoin. So, and also on Twitter, I saw I'm very active on Twitter, and I read a lot of tweets about other people that are very knowledgeable about the world economy and about the crypto space. We have this person called a Pumpliano. He told us he told us from by Twitter that the inflation was just reported at 5.4%, which is a 13-year high. So you got to realize that if, let's say you have a big company which with a lot of money. Let's say you have billions and billions of money. If you put 2% of inflation on top of that, you will lose a lot of money. So this is the reason why all these big institutions starts to invest in stocks, starts to invest in assets that increase over the year. This is what they called hedging, to protect their assets against inflation. And now we have hyperinflation. So to me personally, it really doesn't make sense that people are leaving the crypto space, because if you look at Bitcoin, you can see that the reward for Bitcoin will get less and less and less each year. And the dollar, if you look at the dollar, the value of dollar decreases while the value of Bitcoin increases. So Bitcoin is a very attractive asset for those companies to invest in. So all the negative news that you heard over the past months, they were just all FUD. FUD means fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This was just fake news to shake out the weak hands, which means that people that invested early in the market, let's say people bought Bitcoin back in the beginning of 2020. I personally invested in crypto back in 2020, even before that, even before the before the coronavirus. I invested in 2019. So I have a lot of profits. But during these up run, we saw that the market was decreasing with 55%, with a lot of negative news, with 30%, with you can see here again 25%. So during the uprun, we can see that the media is manipulating the market just to make sure that we are going to sell out of fear, and then they will buy there. And these are the moments when they buy. These are the moments when the people who don't have knowledge about the economy and about the crypto space, they will sell. This is what they call the panic sellers. They will sell their bitcoins, their positions, and the big institutions, they will buy it, and then they will pump the market again, bring bad news, pump it again, bring bad news, and then pump it again. This is not an early, so this is not an easy ride. Investing comes with a lot of emotion. I'm going to teach you how to counter the emotions. So if you have knowledge about the world economy, what is happening with the world, it really doesn't make sense for me that people are selling their bitcoins. This is just pure market manipulation so that the big companies, big institutions are going to increase their portfolio to gain the maxed profits at the end of the cycle, which is nearing December 2021. That's what I believe in. I believe in the 4-year cycle theory and the halving effect, and the bull market only lasts 1 to 2 years, approximately 1.5 years approximately. But there's also a theory, and we saw it in the charts that where is the chart again? Is it over here? No, this is. So if you look at the cycle lengthening, this was 526 days, which is 1.5 year. The previous cycle, the cycle before that was only how many days? 363 days. So you can see that the cycles are lengthening as well. So it doesn't surprise me if this cycle is gonna last till March 2022. It doesn't surprise me. But I'm gonna sell a big of my positions in December, since I see that in the last quarter, if you look at it, look, I'm gonna show you guys. This is when the market tops. The market tops around 20k back in 2017. And if you look at the month September, here down here, you can look at the month. And back in September, we saw that the market dumped around 43%. But when we reach October, look, you can see the months over here, down here. October, November, and December, the market started to pump like crazy. Look, this is when we started the last quarter. So the market started to pump like 500%, 564%. And let's say it's going to repeat itself completely. We're just going to put those numbers in here as well. Let's say October. This is the beginning of October. So it's over here. We're going to put 500% on here, okay? Where's the tool? It's over here. %. So that's going to be somewhere around here. So that means that the value of one Bitcoin is going to be around 280k or 290k, approximately 300k. Let's just round it up. So it really doesn't surprise me that the last quarter of the year will get completely vertical. That's the same thing that happened back in 2017. Look, the markets really went vertical. Look, it really went straight up, and it didn't even stop. So that's what I want to tell you guys. It doesn't make sense for me that people will sell all their positions. Look, and this is also a chart that I want to share with you guys. I'm gonna look it up. This is what they call the Wall Street cheat sheet, psychology of a trader OG. So there's if you look at money, you can see that money belongs to the primarily needs of a human being. And if you take something from the primarily needs, people will react with a lot of emotions. Okay? So money, if you buy something And if you lose money, if you get money, you will become happy. That's why you see people when they receive their salary, they become happy. Yeah, I'm gonna spend my money. It's gonna be Black Friday. It's gonna be Halloween, or we're just gonna go shopping. People become happy. Why? It's because it is their primarily needs. But if you lose money, people will become very angry, very anxious, and they will just start to act with emotions rather with their rational side of their brain. And this is the reason why you have to understand the market. If you understand the market, you will think clearly while the market is going down. You will think the opposite way. So we're just going to look at the emotion, the psychology within the market. The market always starts with anger and depression. The market, this is the way the market starts, okay? It starts with, I'm going to start over here on the left side. It starts with disbelief. This period, what you see over here, is what happened with Bitcoin as well in during the pandemic. You can see here it's March. The market corrected with 63%. This is what they call disbelief. People didn't start to believe in Bitcoin anymore. They thought that it's going to no man's land. It's going to go crash lower. But what happened? This is what happened. You can see that the market increases, and this is also how the emotion works. You can see the disbelief. After disbelief, the market will rise and rise. It will make higher lows, and then you will see people will start to get hope in the market. And this is the same thing that happened. Look, the market, it started to increase. People were started to gain more hope in the market over here, and then they were like, oh, it actually recovered from the Corona dump. Look, it recovered within how many days? Within, let's say, 100 days. Okay, no, the dumping started over here. Let's say, let's say 100, and it recovered over here. 71 days. So since the Corona dump, that is one of the hardest dumps that we had in the cycle. The market recovered within 72 days. And when I saw this happening, I was in here. I saw my positions losing how many losing 63%. I saw the money literally disappearing from my account. I was like, what is this? What's going to happen? And I was also new in this market. I started within Q4. So I was studying about it. So I got scared in this period as well. I didn't start to invest in here. And when I saw the market was getting higher and higher, I started to buy a lot of crypto coins in this period. I saw that the market was recovering. And then I was like, I started to gain more hope over the time. So then we saw hope. And then I started to learn about the psychology side of investing as well. And then I saw optimism, belief through euphoria, and then the market crash, anger, depression, and then it will repeat again over and over. But during the time that the market will rise, we will have some crashes. The markets will go down. So every phase of each market will have a certain emotion attached to it. And you can see that happening with the past months as well. And these emotions are actually activated by the media. The media starts good about cryptocurrency. The media certainly starts talking bad about cryptocurrency. I don't know what they're doing. They're just playing with our minds. And this is the reason why I want to show you this chart, because this chart actually shows what's happening within the 4-year cycle time frame. It starts with smart money buying the assets when it's very cheap. So a lot of company that understand how this market works. So you got to realize that companies such as Google, Tesla, they have employers that have a lot of knowledge about trading. Why do you think that Tesla started to invest in Bitcoin? He didn't start to invest it in here. Around this time, he started to invest in crypto behind the scenes in this period, without a doubt. This is what they call smart money. This is how the market works. Smart money, they tend to build their position during the stealth phase. This is how they control the market. They're gonna buy it over here in this period, and then slowly they're just gonna build the market up and up and up. And then you will see the news coming up. Oh, Tesla is buying Bitcoin. Grayscale is buying Bitcoin. Visa, PayPal, they're gonna accept Bitcoin. Oh my God, El Salvador is starting to accept Bitcoin as a legal tender. Oh my God, another country start to accept it. Oh my God, you can pay with Bitcoin now with to buy food. Also in Istanbul, in Turkey, also in the Central Bank of Iran also started to invest in there. Then you hear all the positive news, and then this This is what they call optimism, what they call hope in the market. They will start to get hope. Oh, all these big institutions are buying these assets. I should jump in as well, without knowing how they control the market. And this is what they do. They're gonna build up their positions, and the way to increase your portfolio is to spread fake news about the assets, and then people who bought in here at the top will sell their positions, and all the people that bought here, they will buy their position. The people that bought here, they will start to spread fake news about the assets, and then they will sell a portion of their portfolio to dump the market, and then all the other people that started to FOMO in will also dump the market. They were just manipulating our emotions, and then with the profits that they made over here, they're just gonna increase their positions. So let's say you bought 10 bitcoins over here, and the value of 10 bitcoins started to increase. You sell 5 bitcoins, which has a value now of 20 bitcoins that you bought over here. So now you will sell it over here, you will sell it over here, and the people will also sell out of fear, and now you will buy all these bitcoins with the profit that you made, and then you started with 10 bitcoins, now you have 30 bitcoins. This is how they increase their personal position in the market. Excuse me. And this is what they do over and over again. This is what you also have the bear trap in every cycle. You will have this bear trap in every cycle. And look, this is also what we had in this market. The market started to pump. People started to get optimism. They will get, yes, we're getting very hopeful in the market. This is what happened. They will start to get in this phase. The market was going up and up and up and up. People were very hopeful. And then we saw the news of Tesla coming in, and the market decreased with 54%. And when I saw this pattern playing out in the chart, I knew for sure that this was the bear trap, which you see here in the chart. And after the bear trap, that's the last shake out before the markets are going up. Look, this is the bear trap, this red area. Then the market will reaccumulate, and then it will go up again. And this is the same thing that you see here in the market. The bear trap, and then the market will go straightly parabolic. And then after the bear trap, you will start to hear positive news about Bitcoin again. Now we hear, what was the positive news that we heard about Bitcoin? Yeah, the Bitcoin ETFs are being accepted right now. Whoa, the first Bitcoin ETFs are going to be accepted. And then people will start to FOMO in. This phase is called the Mania Phase. The first phase is called the Stealth Phase. This is done by smart money people who understand the market. An institutional awareness phase, they will bring a little bit more of media attention, not too much, but a little bit more exposure, and then they will dump the market. The bear trap, people start to become very negative. They start to give hope about the crypto market, about the markets in general, and then they will start the last phase, which is called the retail money, aka the dump money. I call this smart money, and I call this period dump money. People who are not educated, with all due respect. I used to be one of those people who are dumb, who are uneducated about it. So we all started somewhere. So you gotta put yourself into this category. So now they will bring a lot of media attention. People will become enthusiastic. They will get greedy, delusional, and this phase is what happens mostly in the last quarter of the year, in the last 3 months of the cycle. Look, I'm gonna just hold on, give me a second. I'm just gonna Bitcoin halving. This is it. I'm gonna delete it. Okay, Control Z. Okay, I can wait. I need to see which it is. Yeah, this one. Okay, this one is it. It's this one. So you can see over here. This is September, and then in October 2017, this is when we reached October, okay? 1 October 2017. Oh, come on. Okay, here it is. Look what happened. The market rose with about 400%. Let me be accurate. Okay, over here. The market rose with 400%. Look, it literally went vertical. And this is the same thing that's what's going to happen within these last 3 months. It's going to go vertical. How much percent did it go up? Let's say 400%. We're going to do it again. October. I did this a few minutes ago, but now I'm gonna be a little bit more accurate. How much was it again? 382%. Let's say now it will go with 382% as well. We will reach at least a price of 220k Bitcoin at the end of this year. And this is not something that is impossible. It happened in the past, in the past halving effect, in the past cycle. And if I talk about a cycle, I talk about the 4-year cycle. So after the halving, we saw that the market in the last phase of the last quarter started to increase with 400% approximately. So it is not something new. People need to realize that this is very possible. And this is what they call the mania phase. People will become delusional, greedy, new paradigm, and then they will they will crash the market with negative news. And this is what happens. The blow off top, this is what happens. Boom, the market decreases with 80%. Look, with 84%. This is what's gonna happen. And this is also what I have in this slide. I also talk about what the way the positive news that we got from the media, and then suddenly it became very negative. Look, Tesla buys 1.5 billion in bitcoins, plans to accept its payments, and then Tesla started to accept Bitcoin, whatever, and then in a few months later, what happened? Tesla suspends Bitcoin. Suddenly, they started to suspend it. Elon Musk, what did he say? Tesla suspends Bitcoin payments for vehicle purchase of the negative environmental impact of cryptocurrency mining. I was questioning myself, how does one person who has been involved in the energy industry for almost his whole life became very bullish, became very positive about cryptocurrency, and then a few months later he became very negative about it? How does this happen in such a short period of time? This is what they call manipulating. And then he started to tweet again, 19th of May. Tesla has diamond hands, whatever. And then we got more news. To be clear, I strongly believe in crypto, but it can drive a massive increase in fossil fuel use, especially coal. When I was thinking about it, I was like, Ellen, what are you doing? You're just intentionally spreading fake news about cryptocurrency just to dump the market. I don't know who gave you this order, but somebody did. But you became very positive about cryptocurrency, and then you suddenly start to talk bad about cryptocurrency. Look, it happened in May. Bam, the market started to dump 54%. And now, what do we have now? This is also what Elon Musk did. He updated his profile picture with Bitcoin, started to promote it, the market starts to increase, whatever. And if you look at his financial report, he made more revenue, more profits in investing Bitcoin rather than selling Tesla cars. So he knows how the market works. And you also have some parties, some institutional, some companies that are really strong in their decisions, such as Michael Saylor with MicroStrategy. He just kept buying and buying and buying more Bitcoins, and he constantly talked positively about Bitcoin, while people like Elon Musk and other big governments such as China started to ban Bitcoin and spread fake news. And guess what happened? The market started to recover to 64k, to how much? To 67k. Guess who tweeted positive about Bitcoin again? Oh, Elon Musk started to tweet on the 21st of October 2021. He started to tweet about Bitcoin again in a positive way, with Bitcoin reaching the price of $69,000 and Ethereum reaching the price of 4,200. Oh, suddenly he's very bullish again. Why does somebody suddenly change from perspective, from his mindset? This is nothing more than manipulation in the market. People are pulling the strings behind the scenes to move the market in a certain way to increase their personal position or to eliminate their competitors in order to gain the maximized profits at the end of the cycle. They all know that the price of Bitcoin is going to reach at least 300k. That's my personal price prediction, and I do this because of the previous cycles. Look at the previous cycle. We're going back to 2013. Look, we had two tops. One was in April. In April, we started to crash. Oh, what a coincidence! This is the same thing that happened this year. Look, when did we started to crash in oh when did we start to crash from the previous all-time high 64k? Oh, also in April. Look, 13th April 2021. Oh, what a coincidence! These time frames doesn't coincidentally align, do they? Yes, they do align because they know how Bitcoin works. They know the halving effect of Bitcoin. Every 4 year, the rewards per Bitcoin is gonna get half. What happens is they're just gonna spread fake news. The market's gonna tank, and then the last quarter, also the last quarter, you can see over here, October. What happens when we reach October? The price increases with how much percent? With 1049. That's in 2013. That is what happened in the last 3 months. Look, when did the market started to correct? It started to correct in December. Look, you can see it over here. In December. That's when the market started to correct. So we got to realize that history, there's a saying which is called history doesn't repeat itself, but it certainly rhymes. So we got to ask ourselves, what does this mean? This means that people understand how the market works, and they're just going to manipulate the market in a specific way to increase their personal positions. And when you make profits, you got to realize that on the other side, somebody made a loss. In the market, there's not only winners, there are also losers in the market. And you need to understand how the big players control the market. If you know how they control the market, you won't make decision based on emotion. You will make decision based on time frames, based on technicals, based on fundamentals. And that is what distinguishes a real trader from a unexperienced trader. So this is what I learned in the past 2 years, and ever since in 2019 I haven't sold any position. I just kept buying more. I just kept dollar cost averaging in when the markets started to dump and get lower and lower, because I knew this was the bear trap. This was a trap to shake out the weekends, and then we go into the last phase, in the mania phase, in the last quarter, where the markets will go up in 400 to 1,000%. So we shouldn't miss this moment. Miss out this moment. And look, if you look at the bigger time frame, this chart has been made by DEY Investing. I will put his YouTube channel in the video description as well. He also explained how the FourYear Cycle theory works with the fundamentals. So with the technicals aligns with the fundamentals. So there are two confirmations. So we have the Elliott wave theory. The last wave from wave 4 to wave 5 is always in the last quarter, and the last quarter always tends to go parabolic. This is what they call the parabolic effect. You can see it from optimism, belief, through, and then we have euphoria phase. This is what happens with the markets, guys. You got to realize how the market structure works and how they control the market. They're just completely playing with your minds, and we got to realize if you educate yourself about how the system works, you are not going to get manipulated, because knowledge is power. That is the thing. That's why they call there's the saying, knowledge is power. It makes sure that you will stay sane during all times, and you look at the bigger picture. If you doubt, let's say you zoom in too much in this period. Let's say you zoom in too much in this specific aspect of the chart, you will get too emotional. You will just realize, oh, the market just dumped with 54%. I need to exit my position because my portfolio just decreased with 54%. So I'd rather take this a little bit of profit than losing it all. But what happens afterwards? If you doubt, you gotta zoom out. This is what's gonna happen. The market will increase in its price, and this is what happens every single cycle. Every single cycle, this is what happens. History doesn't repeat itself, but it certainly rhymes. There's also a saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. It's just the same thing, people. History is our biggest lesson, our best teacher. And this is what they do. They just use social media to spread fake news, to spread positive news, and whatever. They're just playing with your emotions. So we gotta look from a clear picture. We gotta step back, think logically. Okay, So we want to invest in this market. What do we have to deal with? Now, we have to deal with, first, Bitcoin itself. We know that the reward per Bitcoin get halved every each 4 year. We know that after each halving, the market will turn into the following structure. We will have a bull market, a bear market, accumulation, expansion, reaccumulation, and then the next halving. So, what do we have to do as investors? As investors, we have to buy when the markets are going down. That's the big way to make a lot of profits. Just the way that Warren Buffett said, be fearful when people are greedy and be greedy when people are fearful. That's the same thing. You just gotta Uno reverse the card. You just put in the card. That's what you gotta do. So we know that the bull market is not going straight up in a vertical line. No, that's not how the reality works. This is how reality works. I'm gonna show you. Give me a second. This is how reality works. Okay, I open up Paint. This is not how the market works, people. The market isn't going up like this. The market goes up like this, with crashes, with a lot of news, with a lot of fake news, and so on. This is how the market works. And if you look at the bigger time frame, you can see that you can just make simply money by just buying an asset and just holding it for at least 4 years. At least 4 years. If you buy crypto, just hold it for at least 4 years and buy coins that has a lot of strength in them, a lot of strong fundamentals that add value to our today's to our societal standards, that make things easy for us. So if you're going to put your money into a crypto asset, you got to ask yourself, is this crypto asset overvalued or undervalued? You're only going to buy things by looking at things that are undervalued, and then you take your position in that asset, and then it will increase over time, and then you will sell it. And how do you know if something is undervalued? By knowing what it means, by knowing what it has to offer. You're not going to a store. Let's say you need a new phone. You're not just going to a random store and buy a random phone. No, you're going to educate yourself about, okay, what do I need? I need a phone. I need to make phone call. I need to text. I need to make videos. I want to start vlogging. So I need a specific phone. So you're going to do your research beforehand before you start buying it. It's the same thing with Bitcoin works. You have to put your money first in educating yourself, understanding how this asset works before you buy something. And then you will make the most out of it and how to use it and so on. That's what you got to do. So we have the halving, we have inflation, we have the pandemic doing a lot of damage to our world, global economy. They kept printing money like crazy, like no tomorrow. This is what they call quantitative easing. Basically, they just print money, helicopter money, which means that the value of each dollar is going to decrease over time, not with 2%, but with 5%. This is called hyperinflation. And big institutional money, they won't keep their money into fiat. They will put their money into something that will increase over time, which is cryptocurrency. So you got to look at the fundamental, not only at crypto, but you got to look at the fundamental of the whole world economy. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense for them to sell their positions and put their money into fiat. It doesn't. Since Bitcoin became a legal tender and the halving, the supply decreases over time, which means the value will increase over time. This means that dollar, if you look at the previous slide, you see that the purchasing power of each dollar is going to decrease over time, while the price of Bitcoin will increase. So look at the facts yourself. Numbers don't lie. Don't listen to people. Just look at data. Don't listen to me blindly. Listen to what I have to say and check the facts yourself. The data shows that Bitcoin crypto asset is increasing over time. So don't fool yourself. Don't be one of those stupid people who blindly believe in the media. You are born with a brain. Use your brain. Use your intellect. You have it for a reason. If you look something at the media, let's say the news talk about a certain topic, don't blindly believe them. Check the facts yourself. Always DYOR. Do your own research. before you start to believe in something. Okay, always do your own research. So the media is just here to manipulate your perspective on the market so that they will get the max position for themselves instead of for each other. So this is how the cycle works. This is also a chart I got from DEY Investing. I'm gonna show you it again to get a bigger picture. So if you doubt, zoom out. So this is how it worked. The first halving of Bitcoin started in 2013, and then it increased in price. Then we had a bear trap. The market tanked, but then we had the blow off top, the Mania Phase. Okay? And then the cycle repeats. The market's gonna correct. It's called the bear market. We have the next halving, which means that it is a good time to buy. Then we have another run up. We have a bear trap. We have a blow off top. And then we have a bear market. Okay? Then we have the next halving. And then we go up. We have another bear trap. We have another blow off top. And then we have another bear market. So a good way to build so you have to ask yourself, is it now a good time to to invest? I say yes. To myself. Okay, I'm not a financial advisor. So I personally tell myself, if I look at this data, it is a good idea to invest in it now, even though the market is now just had its new all-time high. I still believe, and I know for sure for myself, I do my own analysis. Always do your own research. This is not financial advice. I know from this data, the cycle is just repeating itself. The more things change, the more they stay the same. This is not what a blow off top looks like. Blow off top looks like this. It's going down. It's going down, straight down. This is not a blow off top. This is what's going to happen. The market's going to 300K and then it's going down. And then it's going to correct itself. So this is what I believe. And if you doubt, zoom out. Just look at the big picture. Either way, the market's going to go up over time. So in about 8 years, I believe that Bitcoin will reach 1 million. One Bitcoin will get the value of 1 million. Because we have to realize we didn't have Bitcoin ETFs trading in these cycles. And these previous cycles, they were very parabolic in the last quarter. And now we have Bitcoin ETFs in this last quarter. Just imagine, and we also have the pandemic. Just imagine people and big institution and big companies are looking for an asset to invest in heavily because they know hyperinflation is coming. They have employers that know how this market works. I'm just a retailer. I'm just a normal dude with a full-time job, and I know how this market works. Do you think they don't have people like that who knows how the market works? Definitely, they have these kind of people, and they always tell them to buy in behind the scenes. And when they have a good position, they are just gonna spread good news, positive news in the media, and then people will start to FOMO in. FOMO means fear of missing out. And that's what's going to drive the last phase of the market, which means that the market is really going to go vertical. If you look at it, October till December, till January 2022, the market is going to go vertical. Here, so again, the last quarter of the year, the market's going vertical. Here again, from October till the last, the market's going vertical. It went from $150 to $1,500 or $1,500. Also from here, from 2,700 to 20K. Also from here, from 40K to, I believe, 280K by end of December. That's what I believe. I can be wrong, but if you look at the metrics, the more things change, the more they stay the same. History doesn't repeat itself, but it certainly rhymes. I'm just saying, for myself, this is my research. And I'm just sharing my perspective with you. So, I made this image with paint, so I'm just gonna explain it again. This is basically how the market works. Okay? Let me see. So this is what they call the price. Okay? The value of an asset. Let's call it Bitcoin. Okay? This is how the FourYear Cycle works. And this is the time frame. All right? This is the time frame. And this cycle is a 4-year cycle because of the halving effect, guys. You got to realize the halving effect. So, excuse me, I need to sit a little bit different because my legs started to hurt. Okay, so we have this. if you look at the bigger picture, the macro trend, that's what we call it. In Dutch, we call it the macro trend. If you look at the bigger picture, you see that Bitcoin is increasing in price. Just look at it. If you look in the bigger picture, it's increasing. Okay? The market is increasing. So, what do we have? Now we have the media. The media is gonna talk positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, and so on. And then you will have more news. Okay? Let me just finish this blue line real fast. So the market is not going straight up in a straight line. It's going in waves. And you gotta time the market to gain the most revenue, to gain the most profit out of it. So the red line, excuse me, let me see, I created it over here. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this later. So the red line, the yellow line, we have the red line, we also have the yellow line, and then we have the blue line. Okay, change to black. This is what they call the macro trend. Do you call this the macro trend in English? Let me just use Google Translate real fast. I think it's the same. Macro, micro and macro. Oh, it is. Yeah, it is the same. Okay. It's basically the longer picture, okay? That's basically what I mean. This is what they call the swing trade. It's gonna go in swings, in swings, in swings. And this is what you can do with scalp trading or day trading, whatever. Okay? So you need to build your position like this. Build a position with a hodl portfolio. You're just gonna hold the coins no matter what happens. So longer time frame is king. There's also saying in the investing world, longer time frame is king. If you doubt, zoom out. Then you have the media with all the FUD, with all the positive news and the negative news. And then you will have the influencers talking about it. So the thing that I want to tell you guys, the message of this image is, if you're going to zoom in too much, if you're going to zoom in too much into the red line, you're gonna get emotional. Oh my God, we're going down. Oh my God, we're going up. Oh my God, we're going down. And you're gonna zoom in even more into the blue line. You see more waves. So this will eventually make you very emotional, and then you will make decisions based on your emotions. But if you doubt, you just have to zoom out. Focus on the yellow line. Focus on this, the yellow line. This is the macro trend, but guys, this is the macro trend. The price of Bitcoin is just increasing each 4 years, and we are still in the bull market. The bull market hasn't ended yet. That's why I tell you, I strongly believe that this cycle top is not over yet. We're gonna see a Bitcoin price of at least 100k, and I believe 280k before the next correction comes with 80%. So now we have BTFs, ETFs. I'm sorry, but we call it BTF, Bitcoin's ETF. Gold ETFs was approved back in 2004, the 1st of November, and that eventually resulted in a 7-year bull year cycle. In 7 years, the markets went up. With some correction, of course. So with Bitcoin's ETFs, we can now see that there will be a lot of money coming into the market. So we got to realize that this is actually good moment to invest if I look at these metrics and data. So that's what I tell myself. History doesn't repeat itself, but it certainly rhymes. The same thing that happened with gold. Look, this is the chart of gold. CFDs on gold. It went up. The same thing's going to happen with Bitcoin. And also we have the pandemic now. It is not worth to put your money into fiat, in dollars, or in euros. It's not worth it. We need to look something that is increasing over price, something that is scarce. So that is crypto. which is Bitcoin, because the supply of Bitcoin is only 21 million. It's limited. Not more, not less. Okay, let's continue. So if you got to realize that if the markets are going up, we will have some corrections. So if you look at this chart, I also made this chart in TradingView for you guys. I'm just gonna remove this one. 2017. Look, I'm gonna remove this and look at it. So if you look in here in 2017, I've analyzed this market as well. We went from $504 per Bitcoin all the way up to 20K. But did it went up with a straight line? No, it went up with this, with the blue and red line. That's how it went up. We had some severe corrections. When the markets are going up, look how much corrections we had. Boom, 35%, 32%, 35%, 39%. Look, we also had another correction. 39%, 27%, 32%, 38%. This shows that it is healthy that if the markets tends to correct itself over time. In my opinion, from my perspective, what I know, if I see that the price of Bitcoin just goes straight up, I'm getting fearful because this is not normal what I see in the previous cycle. In the previous cycles, this is what I saw. This is what I saw. Correction, 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 correction. Before we went to the blow off top of 80%. So this is why this image is very important. Focus on the yellow line. The yellow line is the macro trend. The yellow line is your friend, people. Please focus on that. Focus on it. All right. And also an important lesson that I want to tell you guys about is I saw in the series which is called Step Up. There was a great saying, a great scene, and one of the investors told the business owner, give him a great advice, and it was the following: investors won't see profits for a while. You are drifting in a fast ocean. There are two things that can happen. You either die of thirst or you survive. No matter how thirsty you are, you should never drink seawater. That's a rule. Never drink seawater. You will just become more thirstier. You have to hold until it rains. Pursuing profits in the early stage of a business or investment is like drinking seawater. Okay? So we are like pirates on the vast ocean, and the ocean comes with waves. Wave after wave. That's what a song is about. Alright? Investing's like a journey on the sea. We're all like pirates. We're going for one piece. Alright, I'm gonna tell you guys a great story, but before I'm gonna talk about the story, I want to see if I didn't miss anything out. If you look at the people that hold Bitcoin, all the Bitcoin, you can see that Grayscale owns the most Bitcoins. Then we have the Chinese government who owns almost 200k Bitcoins. So that to me, it was already like a red flag when they told us that Bitcoin, China is banning Bitcoin. Why would they ban Bitcoin while they are the second largest holders of Bitcoin? Why? It doesn't make sense. News is fake. It was basically fake news. Then we have all these other companies, Tesla as well. So they're just playing the game. They're just playing with your mind. And this is also what people think about something that is new. They'll also laugh at you. They will be like, huh? What? They'll laugh at you. No, Bitcoin is used by criminals. I'm not going to use it. Bitcoin is a bubble. Bitcoin is waste energy. Bitcoin is dead because of the bull market. Bitcoin is dead again. Bitcoin is a safe haven. This is what they do, you know. If you look at if you're gonna follow the crowd, you're just gonna be in you're just gonna drink seawater. But you gotta wait for the rain. The rain is coming. You just gotta be hopeful and ignore all the FUD. That's all you gotta do. Ignore it. If you look at the monthly percentage and return on investment (ROI), you can see that with positive position there will also be negative results as well. So it's not an easy journey. It's not. I gotta tell you that. I've been here since 2019 in Q4, and I gotta tell you that I became a lot of gray. I gained a lot of gray hairs. I became old. 4 years in the crypto space is like 20 years in stock market. I can tell you that. There's gonna be a lot of emotions involved in here. So, but if you just focus on this image, just focus on the yellow line, just hold, and if the markets tend to correct, just buy it more before the bull run ends, of course. So to summarize everything, Bitcoin has no leader, has no founded foundation, has no governance token, has no vesting schedule, has no steering council, has no partnerships, no fancy offices, no VC banking, no legal team, no pre-mine, no roadmap, no rules. It's just something from us, the people's money. That's what I call Bitcoin. And also Satoshi Nakamoto, he also told us that I've been following the crypto space since 2013. This list contains the years in which I heard that China has banned crypto. Every year, China bans Bitcoin, but if you look at the real data, you can see that China is the second one that is holding the most Bitcoin portfolio. They just want to increase their position even more. They're just greedy. Excuse me. Okay, we're going back to the presentation. So now we're gonna talk about ethics in the financial world, and I want to tell you guys a great story. This story, I heard this story in a documentary as well, so I'm just gonna repeat it, and from what I remember and what I learned from it, and hopefully you will learn as well. This changed my whole perspective of life, and this changed my whole perspective about money as well. Money is just an asset that we have to survive with. It doesn't make you happy at all. It doesn't bring happiness if you know how it works and how to spend it wisely, but it doesn't bring ultimate luck. It doesn't. But I'm going to tell you about it. So we had a little child, the grandson of a grandma. He was staying over during the summer vacation with his grandma, and he used to play Monopoly with her. And he told his grandma that he was actually surprised because she was very old. She was very old, and she used to beat him every single time when they played Monopoly. And he was like, "Grandma, how do you do it? What is your secret way? What is your tactic? Is there some sort of a magic that you're using?" And she was like, "Son," she was no. She was like, "You just gotta keep playing the game, and once you understand how the game works, you will eventually start to realize that you can win very easily in this game." So the little guy, he was baffled. He was very disappointed in himself. How can I lose from a grandma that is so old? She's like a granny. Why am I losing to her? I'm so young. I'm so smart. I'm so talented. How am I losing to her? But he did his research. He did his own research, DYOR. He kept reading it. He kept reading, watching tutorials, how to play the game, and he started to realize that lending money is not something bad. If you know how to spend money wisely, you can gain more money by lending money. That's what he realized. And then he started to play. He started to play. He said, "Grandma, I know. I've studied about it. I want to play with you again." She was like, "Okay, son." And she loves to play because all those old grannies, they love to play those board games. And they're really good at it. I'm going to tell you that. I got my ass beaten by my grandma as well. So, anyways, we kept playing. We kept playing. They kept playing. And the moment of victory just it came closer and closer and closer to this little child, and he was looking at it. He saw that his grandma was out of money, almost out of money. The bank, if you look at the bank of Monopoly, he was also almost running out of money. And if you looked at him, he was stacking those money, man, like crazy. He was like Rain Man. And then the moment of defeat came. His grandma put her last dollars, her last money onto the board. She was like, "I'm broke. You win. The game is over." The child screamed his lung. He screamed out of his lungs from happiness. "Yes, I won. I won. I'm the king. I'm the best. I'm the strongest. I'm the smartest. I'm the most talented." And the grandma was looking at him. She was like, "Let him enjoy his moment." He was jumping around the living room, screaming like a little child. And she told her, "Son, come." She put him on her lap. And she told him to look at the board. She was like, "How does it feel like to win?" He's like, "Grandma, I feel very powerful. I feel very great. I'm the best. Just look what I have." She's like, "Look at the board. All the houses that you own, all the places that you own, all the money that you own is yours. She was like, how does it feel? She said, it feels good, doesn't it? She's like, yeah, 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 Grandma, it feels really good. And then she put him on the couch. She grabbed the board. She lifted it up just like this, and she poured it back into the box. Everything was gone within a second. And the child looked at it. He was like, he was out of words. He was very surprised and he didn't know what happened. And then his grandma told him, players come and players go. This is the same way with life. People come, people go. If your goal in life is just to make money, to gain a lot of property, you gotta realize that there will be one day that you will lose everything. And what is the day? When you die. We all have a live. We all have a lifespan of 70 or 80 years old. And we have to work till we reach the age of 67. So we work our whole lives for the government and then we are gonna die. Is this the way? Is this our goal in life? Definitely not. Why are we doing this? We should start to question ourselves. Why are we living this life? Do we have a bigger goal in life? The society is telling us how to live our lives, but we need to free ourselves from the social standards and start to form our own way of life, our own standards. And that's the big lesson of this story is you can make a lot of money in cryptocurrency. You can become very wealthy, but if your goal is just to make money, you will start to lose. Trust me. You need to have a bigger goal than money. You can easily become a millionaire. Easily, it's very easy to become a millionaire. Trust me. But can you stay a millionaire, or can you even become a multimillionaire? Yes or no? You need to have a goal in life. The more money you earn, the harder you have to work. The more money you get, the more responsibility you have. I'm not going to tell you that. This is the reality check. We always look at houses, at big cars, at women, at men, at jewelry. But do we also look at reality? And this is the graveyard. That is death. Do we ask ourselves the right questions, yes or no? Every single person, every living creature on this planet is eventually going to die. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about which piece of ground you would like to own to be buried in? You gotta realize that. Visit the graves. Even if it's 1 time a month, 2 times a month, I don't care. But you have to look and think about the death. Because death is the hard reality. Money, property, fame, being beautiful, it doesn't mean anything. If you die, you will lose everything. People will forget about you. You need to make the world a better place with the money you own. Okay? So before you start investing, think about if you have $1 million, what are you gonna do with it? You can enjoy life, of course. You can buy a Lamborghini, you can buy a yacht if you want, okay? But you will lose money if you buy that stuff. That is luxury that we don't need. We need to think about the world as a whole. Let's go back to the. Sorry, I was sneezing. Bless me. Thank you. So if we go back to the Monopoly example, so let's say we have a child, okay? We have our own child. Or you play with your little nephew or with your little brother. He's a little child, you know. If you play Monopoly with him, you will let him win because you're not gonna beat a child, you know. That's the first thing. And the second thing is you want him to be happy as well because you love him more than winning the game. So you love him more than the money in Monopoly. This is the same way we have to think about our people in our lives. We have to love our fellow human beings more than money, more than fame, more than big houses, big cars, big whatever, big jewelry, big Rolexes. We need to take care for each other. And that's the goal of Monopoly. The goal of Monopoly is to spend time with each other. But what ends up happening during the game? People will flip the table because they are so angry, because they were so invested with this game that they forgot the true purpose of this game, which is to have fun with each other. And it's the same thing with life. We shouldn't be competing too much with one another. Competing is good, of course, but to a certain degree. But we shouldn't compete with others just to become more wealthy, to take more out of him. to make sure that he becomes poor. No, never do that. You will die one day. Even if you're black, white, male, female, it doesn't matter what your sexuality preference is, your pronoun is. It doesn't matter. You will die. Everybody will die. That's the hard reality. We have to think about it. What are you going to do with the money, and where's the money coming from, and where's it going to? Have a bigger goal. Money is a bad master, but is a good servant. And you need to be the master of the money and not the opposite. Okay? And always, always, always think about the orphans, the poor people. These are people, these are little children. They just came on earth and they are so innocent. They didn't do anything wrong and they live in poverty. They don't even have food. They don't even have water, clean water, a house, a blanket. If I wake up, I pick up my phone, a luxury. I turn on the light, a luxury. I brush my teeth, I go to the toilet, I have my own privacy, I have my own shower room, I have my own kitchen, I have my own living room. I can buy any food I want. But these people don't have it. And it's the 21st century. How long is it going to take for all of us to remove poverty? There are so many children that their parents are being killed. They become orphans. They don't know what to do. They don't even know what the parent is. Every child has a right to a mother, to have a mother and a father. I personally didn't have a father. I have a biological father, but I don't know how it is to have a father. But I know what I miss. And that's why I'm telling myself I'm going to become the best father in the world if I ever have a child. It's gonna be my main priority to raise my child and my wife as well and my family. So we gotta think about the orphans. We gotta prioritize things in life, which is ourselves. Always focus on yourself, then on your loved ones, then on your neighbors, then on your family, then on the and go and so on and so on. But also think about them. It's a good way to money drives people crazy, but those who understand money will stay sane. And the way to stay sane is to think about reality, which is death. Think about the poor people. Think about the sick. Think about the refugees. Think about people who live in the modern society, but who are mentally stuck. The society are putting way too much high standard for a human being to become happy. I don't care what people think about me. I don't care if people see me without clothes with a brand on it. I just buy simple clothes. That's it. I just need to cover myself. And if you don't like me, just look at the other way. What are you with me? Why are you with me? I just love to be alone. I just love to explore myself, to get myself, to know myself better. Who am I? What are my passions? What is my thing? Look, in the past 2 years, a lot of stuff happened in my life. I had a lot of emotional, how do you say it? I was really emotional struck. Some stuff, private stuff happened in my life, but I didn't give up. I just studied, and I came with crypto, and I have more freedom with myself, and I'm gonna give it back to the people who were in the same position as I was, and I'm give it back to them to help them. I want to give the people, the next generation, a better life than I had. This is what I'm gonna do. The things that I missed as a child, and in my past years, I'm gonna make sure that these other people don't have to suffer the way I had to suffer. So we will all eventually die. We are all equal. So think about that, please. Okay, and this is basically a cryptocurrency course in a nutshell, in one video. But if you want to learn more in depth about this, about cryptocurrency, I've made a course which is called Crypto for Beginners. The Dutch version is already done. The videos are already done. We have assignments and stuff in the Dutch language. It's already on YouTube. I'm gonna put the videos for free on YouTube because I don't have the time to educate people privately. It just takes too much time and too much energy, and I want to educate myself as well. I have a full-time job and I do this in my spare time, so I'm really occupied with my time schedule, and I'm gonna create a course for the English audience as well. That's why I created this video, to give you a sample of it. And all the videos also in the Dutch, I'm gonna create them. I'm gonna put them for free on YouTube. And this is the stuff that we are going to discuss. We're going to discuss what is Bitcoin, what is cryptocurrency, what is blockchain, what does the future hold, and we also will get ethic lessons. We will look at the second chapter about trading cryptocurrency, what is fiat, what is crypto, how to build a good portfolio, how to choose the right strategy. I'm just going to teach you the things that I know and the way I made success and money with cryptocurrency. I'm going to teach you how to spot coins that are really undervalued. People see Bitcoin now because it reached $60,000, but how do you know that a specific coin will reach a high price? For example, Cardano. There are some coins that I bought under 1 cent. They were not even 1 cent, and they are now 80 cents. I made a lot of money, but you have to know which coins will add value and whatnot. We will look at the technical analysis. Technical analysis, how to look at the price markets, when to take profits, how to trade it. We will look at indicators, the market patterns. We will look at the cycle, the bullish cycle, and also the bearish cycle. You can make money when the market is going up, and you can make money when the market is going down. So trading is for all periods. It doesn't matter what cycle it is, we can always make money. That's the beauty of trading. We will also look at alt season, and we will also look at leverage trading. Leverage trading, I don't really recommend doing it, but I believe that every person needs to do it just to see what kind of trader you yourself are. I know how to day trade, how to leverage trade, but it sucks. I just hate to do it, and I don't do it because it can make you a lot of money, but you can lose a lot of money real fast as well. And I will explain it later on in chapter 9 how it works and why I want to teach you that how it works. And perhaps it is something for you. Maybe it is for you, but with a full-time job, I'm not going to do it because my mind is too occupied with my job and I can't be mental stable with leverage trading. It just bites too much on my mind. Every time you're just going to think about your trade position that is open, you're going to look at it every 5 minutes while nothing is happening, and it's not something for me. In total, you will spend 20 hours on watching the videos. I think with following lessons, if you follow the lessons online, of course. Assignments also 25 hours, self-study 20 hours, in total 65 hours. Then you will have the basics, the theory, but you also have to practice it, of course. All the lessons, all these chapters are gonna be free on the internet, on YouTube. All the lessons, all the videos. But if you would like to have coaching on it as well, you can follow the course. I can personally educate you online. That's what I did with 3 groups as well. And next week is gonna be the last week of group 3, and they're really good students. They always make their homework and stuff. I really admire them. And I just educate them every Monday on 8 o'clock on Discord. I do live streaming. I just stream I just share my screen and I talk about crypto with updated info, because this course that I made was made in the previous year, or the year was made in 2020. So the information that you get in the slides and the video it's not completely outdated, but because of the market is changing too fast, you will get a lot of new info, and I will get a lot of more info to explain it better. So that's why the core of the course is just in the video. But if you want up-to-date info, you can follow the course. You can sign up for this course. The email will be down in the video description. It will be 50 euros per lesson. You will have 10 lessons in total if you look at it. So there will be 500 in total. You need to pay you need to pay beforehand, because I can either trade and make a lot of money during those hours, or I can just give lessons, and I rather give lessons than trading money. But I need to make time is money. That's what they say in the market, and I can just give it for free because I spend my time in it. You will get live lessons, updated info. It's digital online. You will get all the slides, you will get the tutorials, you will get the videos, you will also get the templates that I'm using in Excel, the dashboard, how to trade. You can see how I trade the market, how I do my research, and you will also be welcomed in a Discord group, the coins that I invested in, and you will also be the first to know the updates and so on. And all the info that I gave you here in this course can be found on the internet. So it's not something that is explicitly in this course. No, I personally learned from YouTube. I personally learned from reading books. I personally learned by watching other courses on YouTube. So I'm just gonna give it back to the people and make it even more simplified and easy for other people, for beginners. And this is just my way to help society. I just want to help. That's it. And I'm not asking 2,000 or 3,000 euros. I think it's bullshit if you're excuse me for my language. My apologies for that. But I think it's bullcrap if you're just gonna ask so much money for a course. 550 euros per lesson is reasonable. You know, everybody can buy it, and it's just gonna be fixed. So this is gonna be the new. Not the new, but this is gonna be the standard price for each lesson. You pay 50 euros. That's it, and you need to pay beforehand. Okay, so with all the information that you get, let the trade begin. And remember, only the strong hands survive. You just gotta hodl, just hold. That's all the thing. And you gotta know you can make a lot of money or you can use a lot of money. So it's up to you. So I just want to say happy trading. And also, of course, the disclaimer. Just gonna read it out loud. All rights reserved. No parts of this publication may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, photocopying, or otherwise, without the prior written permission of the author. Although the utmost care has been taken in this publication, errors, mistakes, and omissions cannot be completely excluded. LagaCourse, which is my little small company that I made, and or her members and involved parties therefore accept no liability, not even for a direct or indirect damage caused by or related to the application of LagaCourse publications and all services offered. These documents and services are available for informational and entertainment purposes only and do not serve as financial advice. If you use the information and services provided without verification or advice, you do so at your own expense and risk. Investing carries a risk where you can lose your investment. Before making any decisions, please inform yourself thoroughly by an experienced and certified financial advisor. Unfortunately, I'm not a certified financial advisor, but I'm just sharing my research, my perspective on the market with you, and it is up to you to decide whether you are going to implement it or not. I basically learned from other people as well who are not financial advisors and they are millionaires. So, but it is still up to you. It is this is not financial advice. It is up to you. I really would like to thank you for your time and attention watching this video. I hope you learned a lot from this presentation. And I hope this can benefit you in a positive way in your lives and in your loved ones. And I hope to make the world a better place, even if it's only for one person. I cannot change the world, but I can change the world for a person. So I would like to thank you again, once again. And as always, happy learning.